There's a great big town hall meeting, the West Bloomfield Township meeting, I should say, tonight, Monday, March 4th, where they will be discussing mobile food vendors and things that could affect them. So joining us here from West Bloomfield mobile food carrier, the Great Greek, we have Carrie Mabery joining us. How are you, Carrie?
I'm very well. How are you?
Doing just fine, Carrie. Thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule. So you are one of the managers for the catering and mobile food services for the Great Greek based in West Bloomfield, and you all were one of the first fully licensed mobile food trucks in the West Bloomfield area. Can you talk a little bit about that? Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. We have been using working with West Bloomfield Parks to have our food truck there for the last several years. And this year they launched a new application process. And I mean, we do work all over the state, so I'm very used to having to do a lot of different types of things for applications. Theirs is a little bit different. They're the first place that I've had to do a bond for, but you can get that through your insurance typically. So it was worth it though. I keep track record of all of our sales and working with West Bloomfield Township. And within there, we've made a lot of good events. And so the revenue is worth it for getting the bond and doing the application process.
Yes, absolutely. So I learned a little bit about this as I was doing my research. There is a process if you want to be a mobile vendor in a West Bloomfield area. There's a process with getting you still have to pay a licensing fee. You have to have insurance and, of course, license, and you have to get inspected. But one thing about that meeting tonight with West Bloomfield Township is like you mentioned before, the performance bond, $500 on top of everything else that you have to pay. Can you talk about how that performance bond has affected you and or has affected or will affect future businesses that are mobile trucks, I should say? Excuse me.
Yeah, so I mean, if you are getting it, you're really only paying $100 up front,
Mm.
and then it bonds you for 500. Um, if you have good events that you know you're doing in West Bloomfield, it's fine. It's not going to really hurt you. But if you're a newer company and you don't know how to jump through all those hoops, that's where it like we could see less mom and pop owned food trucks in the area, just because if you don't have the knowledge that maybe our company has and understand how those things work, you might be deterred from applying for the city.
Right, and to my understanding, they're actually meeting tonight to vote on whether or not they're going to waive that $500 performance bond, which is going to open it up if they do take that away for the smaller mobile businesses that want to join this community and do different things like that. How do you feel like the remaining restrictions and requirements that they have outside of the performance bond strikes a great balance between maybe food safety and supporting local businesses?
Yeah, I mean, so I think it's always good to make sure that all the trucks are insured, making sure that any small local business has their insurance, has their fire safety, has either an STFU or their inspections done. That's really going to help you make sure that the food that you're receiving from them is good. People can't just own a food truck, it's an entire business and it is a lot of work, and there's a lot of licensing that goes into it. And that should all be visible. So I feel like whenever you're doing an application for a city or a county, they should require that. It takes a lot of money and time to get all of those steps done. And I feel better eating at food trucks knowing that they've done that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So with this being in place, or I should say, with them meeting tonight to possibly waive that $500 performance fee, you could see a lot more competition out there also. So what are your plans and initiatives going forward if this does get waived? Do you have any future events that you will be going to that you could tell us about also?
Yeah, so like I said, we work with the West Bloomfield Parks. So we are doing all of the Marshbank Parks concert series this year.
Mm.
We've been the sole truck that did all of them last year as well, and we had done them in the past previous to that. And they're great events, and they're at the Marshbank Music at Marshbank Park, and they're really fun. But we also do stuff at the Splash Pad. We do their movie nights. And you can't apply for any of those events unless you apply through the city. And a lot of cities and a lot of counties have rules like that. And that's part of being a food truck business. And you have to understand that. And those are great events. That's how you connect with the community. We're a small business, so we feel like there's a lot of value in there.
We have Carrie Mabery from Great Greek Mobile Food Services joining us here today on the Splash Live. Let's speak hypothetically real quick, Carrie. Let's say the township approves to waive that $500 performance fee completely, and moving forward, we have more businesses joining. What advice would you give to small businesses or new mobile businesses joining a greater West Bloomfield area with that new fee being waived?
Ooh, advice. Okay, so I would tell them apply early, be responsive, look at every event and make sure that there's value in it for your truck. I want more competition because when there's more competition, that means that you get better business and more people are willing to come out because there's more of a supply and they're not just seeing the same truck all the time and getting bored. So I would advise them to follow up, do the applications, and then track their numbers so that they can attend all these fun events.
Right, right. And the important thing is, even though this $500 bond performance bond, could possibly be waived, there is still a $200 licensing fee that they should be paying attention to, correct?
Yeah, there's a $200 licensing fee, the fire inspection. So there are things that they have to do and make sure, but they'll have to do that anywhere they work.
Of
So they
course.
should be already having a lot of those done.
Absolutely. And talking a little bit about the West Bloomfield Township meeting tonight about mobile food vendors and how it could affect them, we have Carrie Mabery from the Great Greek joining us. Thank you so much, Carrie, for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you.